Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chicago Black Delegation Podcast. You are watching the Corner Show with HCA Get High Thinking, and and wow, what a day it has been. For anybody that doesn't know, the Corner Shows is kind of more or less one of my spare shows I kind of do on the side, outside of the our usual delegate discussions. Um, I let me look kind of a little bit on another lax day. Kind of eating at the same time, kind of exploring a lot of stuff for the first time today as well. Man, I knew I was gonna last from today regardless, but then all this Epstein, all this Elon versus Trump stuff kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm like, well, now I got to talk about that. You feel me? But like the original plan was to kind of research this little tax information a little bit. Maybe you do it. Maybe have this be its own original video. Seems that as though people don't really seem to understand. Oh man, I'm not gonna say people. I need to stop being so like broad and vague. You know, Trump supporters, low income Trump supporters, don't seem to understand who this bill impacts the most or impacts negatively the most, and it is the people that don't make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see if I can get to the bottom of that. That's kind of the things I kind of been seeing quite a bit. Things I definitely heard, but I don't want to necessarily say it until I can verify and actually show you guys, firsthand. So this is just gonna be me, like more or less researching stuff, kind of dating around and checking stuff out, have a little bit of fun as well, time, and also eating. I'm also eating. So yeah, so I guess the first thing we can kind of start out by checking out is this Elon situation, this Elon versus Trump situation is pretty insane, really actually insane what's been going on. We were kind of teased. We were kind of teased a couple days ago regarding this beef. Actually, not one even just a week. I think it was like maybe it might have been last week. Well, okay, whenever Elon left the White House, that's when that was like the teaser for or the foreshadowing of things to come. You know, bro had a black eye, and there's rumors floating around as to how he got it. He himself said something along the lines of, "Oh, you know, the play fight, yada yada yada, he punched me in my face, blah blah blah." And in reality, trying to find out again. Listen, bro, check this out. This dude Elon, man, that's a dirty dog, bro. Dirty, dirty, dirty dog. Rumors of him allegedly sleeping with the vice president's wife. I'm like, what? I don't know. Wait, it might have been president, the vice president. It was somebody. He's sleeping with some. He putting his must where it don't belong. That's all. That's what I can tell you about that. Right. Anyway, but all of that aside, maybe that's a video for another day. But all of that aside, he's been busy, man. This dude this dude Musk has been busy. So we're gonna make sure that looks good. We're gonna take a look at his tweets, kind of see what he's been talking about and retweeting for the most part. He like out the gate, he's coming at both parties out the gate, talking about some an independent party, a new party. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle, that build curve? Those individuals that's making about 50K, around 50, 60, 70, 40K. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, 3.6 million people voted, and I will vote yes. and 81% people say yeah. I want it's interesting he says that. That's actually a good point. Last time I checked, I want to give y'all like a real let me make sure. I don't want to I don't want to lead you astray with bogus numbers. Mm, oh my gosh, my typing is like fart is horrible right now. Um, there are results for a number of American. Okay. So California has highest number of registered voters. Wyoming is the fewest. Uh, which state has the highest voter registration rates? Illinois is the only state that puts voter registration behind the paywall. Oh, that's crazy. Puts, Illinois is the only state that puts the voter registration behind the paywall. That is, come on, Illinois, get it together, guys. Get it together. How many voters are registered Republicans? As of September 24th, 36 million voters are registered Republicans. However, this count is only from states where political party affiliation is part of the voter registration records. This may also change since some states release update voter registration numbers monthly. In Wyoming, 81% of voters are represented Republicans. So it says as of September, um, 36 million are registered as Republicans. In Washington D.C. has the highest percent of registered Democrats at 76%. Maryland second has a 52%. Hold on a second. Okay, how many votes are registered as Democrats? Based on 2024 data, the nation is around 45.1 million Democrats. 23% are in Cali, 14 in New York. Washington has the highest percentage. Yeah. So you got so here as Republicans, you have 36 million registered as Republicans, 36 million as Republicans, and 45 million registered as Democrats, which is pretty interesting. Way more Democrats than as Republicans. Um, Much more. That's a huge number actually. How many voters are registered as independents? There are 32.1 million voters registered as independents, undeclared or no affiliation of states where voters are declare a party affiliation. The highest independent voter percentages are in Massachusetts, Alaska, and then Colorado. Independent voters account for just 17% of all registered voters who declare affiliations. Minor parties. Okay, here's another. I didn't think they actually got this one down. So, although most voters are registered as Republican, Democrats, or Independents, there are other political party options. The Green Party is a common minor party, as is the Libertarian Party. States are not limited to establishment political parties and can found their own. Delaware has the popular culture inspired Mandalorian Party. Yeah, bro, Mandalorian, ain't that like that TV show about Star Wars, bro? Hold on, let me see what this is. They're not telling me what a Mandalorian party is. What the hell is a Mandalorian party? What are you talking about? This is about to be embarrassing, isn't it? I mean, anything better than libertarians. Uh, right. See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. That's how relevant this political party is. Inspired by Star Wars, Mandalorian put. Oh my gosh, bro! It really is a Star Wars party. Cause what are y'all doing, bro? Mandalorians. Is this the? This is cringe, man. Mandalorians is this is the way we have spoken. What do you guys? The Mandalorians of Delaware support SB 147, 148, 149. The recent bills introduced to begin the process of reforming Delaware's criminal justice system to improve accountability on the 1 year anniversary of George Floyd's death. Okay, that's nice. um, SB. Well, I don't know exactly what SB 14789 is. That like the one that was rejected? Let me check a look real quick. SB 140 SB, right? Is that the one that supported George Floyd? Right? SB 147. SB 147 is a bill that varies significantly depending on the state and the year. Okay, hold on. I guess Delaware. I don't know. What are you talking about? Okay, ain't no way. Let's go back to the last one because this is about dentistry. Wait, what? So does it is it just a coincidence? It shares the same date as SB 147 is a bill that very significantly depend on the state and the season session is from. In some cases, it relates to property restrictions, while others it deals with public safety, such as concealed carry permits or regulations for youth service organizations. It can also be related to environmental protection, such as allowing permits to take fully protected space, protect species in California. Here's some details about it. Texas restricting permanent in California, the authorized Department of Fish and Wildlife. Missouri. So in Missouri, public safety is prohibiting restrictions on employees with valid concealed carry permits from carrying weapons. I mean, could have something to do with it. Yeah, it could have something to do with it. I don't know. It's very bizarre. Scout 48. SB 148 in Illinois and potential other areas refer to a bill often related to a specific topic like home buying or legal representation in Illinois. Currently, there's establishment first and second time home buyer. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I think this is just a coincidence that it's the same day as George Floyd's passing. Criminal. Wait, what? The recent bills introduced that began the process of reform. Yeah, okay, this is bizarre. Like, is this Google just failing me right now? Okay. Oh, this is a long time ago. This is some old shit. Oh, this is extremely old. I didn't realize how old this shit was. I didn't even see the date here. All right. I mean, just do one more, I guess. SB 149, criminal reform. Yeah, it's not even like this is so like this is out of date. Like, yeah, this is old shit, bro. This is a waste of my time. Yeah, Mandalorians is not a real political party. They are complete. I mean, they. I guess it's last updated 2021. Let's check out that. Okay, here we go. Here's their mission. Let's at least give them the respect and reading their what their mission statement is. Our mission, our coming out party was today on the Zoom meeting for the House Judiciary hearing SB 6 to ban large capacity magazines. I delivered a statement I wrote opposing it. Some of the new people I've invited to the page might feel differently. That's okay. Until we grow a little bit as a party, we get some actual registered members rather than just page followers. We haven't adopted any rules governing the party's operations on social media or in real life. How is this even like? Did these people really get anyway? But in the spirit of funding of foundings, whatever. Um, I will be welcome here so long as you are willing to act and post in good faith and give others the benefit of the doubt that they're doing the same as the party's founder and the page administration until we have more formal rules. I reserve the right to unilaterally yeet anyone who doesn't conform to that standard. Okay, you're yeeting people on your page. You're using like internet like 4chan lingo to like come on guys, you gotta be more okay. If you don't happen to agree with the stance I laid out in SB 6, as I said, that's okay. But I hope you can appreciate that my basis for doing so is not the same fetish for big guns. I don't actually own any. I have a young child and a mortgage, and it's an expensive hobby I've never focused on getting into. I'm also not relying on an interpretation of 230-year-old document and placing an abstract conception of rights above human lives. Instead, my opposition is based on the concern that laws like these create criminals, not in the sociological sense that they will drive people and engage heinous behavior. Let me just increase this size for a second because it's starting to hurt my neck. Okay. Instead of my opposite, so not in a sociological sense, but not in a sociological sense that they will drive people to engage in heinous behavior, but in the simple legal sense that people who have done no harm to anyone and lived up to this point within the bounds of our already voluminous laws may suddenly find themselves to be in violation of state law because of an object they own, regardless of how responsible they are using it historically. The burdens of such laws fall on individuals and communities who can at least afford to defend themselves against overreaching government authority. I will always have a problem with that. I will want to explore alternative solutions to problems like gun violence and drug use, and always use that to involve forcing people who aren't hurting anyone to do something they don't want to do. That's a philosophical standard I adhere to, and one I hope to remain characteristic of the party as it develops. So disagree with me. I'm okay with that. Disagree with each other. That's healthy, but be respectful. Government how it works. Da, 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 da. Something, something, something like gun reforms or something, something. Gotcha. What a waste of my time. Okay, sorry, man, Lawrence. Y'all don't. I'm sorry, y'all didn't really make it. Y'all ain't supposed to see that. Y'all want. It's unfortunate y'all didn't make it, but like join the Green Party and do what they say. Okay, so Elon Musk. Okay, I don't even know where I even got that Mandalorian information from. Honestly, oh here it is. Okay, yeah, I completely forgot why I was even doing it. So yeah, there's yeah. Long story short, there's a lot more. Well, what was it? Independence? Yeah, 32 million people registered as independents. Republicans. It's like just like 4 million South Republicans, which is some really important numbers, man. So yeah, which is some really important numbers. Um, Let me see here. What if there's? Let me see what others are. Okay. So yeah, this is also why I was looking at you. I just want to see if there's any other data that I can rely on outside of Google. But yeah, so yeah, Democrat hold 37% of the registered Democrats. Republicans 30%. Independents and affiliated is 27%. So that 27% is a really high number. Um, Obviously, other parts aren't really at a high, but likely because people just don't really know about them. I would imagine. For the most part, people that vote Democrat like to call themselves like liberal. And if you are an actual liberal, then you'll be more aware of the parties like the Green Party and Jill Stein, names like that. And they'll be more likely to go in that direction. However, I mean, as it kind of stands right now, I'm just not partially convinced that the Green Party is particularly viable right now. Unfortunately, but I think the more blue the government turns, that will open up the avenue for the Green Party to start entering in to be the more progressive party than the Democrats. But I don't know, kind of see where that goes from there. But otherwise, yeah, it's good that the working class understands that the Democrats are the ones that keep the country in a better direction. But like knowing the Republicans are a lower number, then that must mean they must have really appealed to the independents and the unaffiliated. Um, so something to note there. Anyway, so yeah, but yeah, Elon is talking about making another party that best represents the middle. I mean, I don't know. These are numbers that Republicans really need to be taking note of because this is them. They're talking about like Elon. The people that follow Elon Musk, the people that pay most attention to Elon Musk are for the most part conservative people. People that are more likely to vote for Republicans. So I don't know. They got to be paying attention to this. They need to be paying attention to this type of stuff, knowing understanding that they're kind of wrong rocky water right now. Mind you, it's only 3 million votes. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, it's only 3 million votes. 80% of 3 million. I don't know. Let me see. 37. Yeah. Ballpark figure 37. What's 80% of 37? I probably need my calculator. I'm not gonna lie to you. Quick math's not my strong suit. Uh, like in a like somewhere around 20ish percent, 20 like 25, 26, 27%. I mean 20 I'm sorry. 2 million, 2.5, 2.6 million, something like that would be 80% of 33.7 million votes. So yeah, like I said, they need to do something about that. Otherwise, let's kind of see what Elon has been how he's been spending his day, his day on Twitter apparently, or X is what he rather be called. Um, Starlink, he's trying to sell some stuff. What an amazing video from the Vast. I cannot wait to become a reality. Another satellite seems like sharing some sharing some. This is pretty funny. I know what he's going for here. Elon does ketamine tweets, and then Trump is on Epstein's list of tweeters, and then but yeah, it's the fact they're all active X users, and he's happy about that because this is his platform that everybody is having these type of engagements on. So whatever you say, if you like X, if you hate X, if you like Elon, if you hate Elon, you like or hate Trump. All of this is going on Elon's platform. I guess he's happy for stuff like this. But yeah, rockets. I don't know. There's some other stuff. Elon Musk and someone CPAC. If America goes broke, nothing else matters. Let's check this out. It's only
I
47
looked at the
seconds.
big picture here, and it's like, man, because if the country goes insolvent if all the money is just spent on paying interest on debt, there's no money left for anything.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm doing this, is because I was looking at the big picture here, and it's like, man, our debt's getting out of control. The interest payments, the interest on the national debt now exceeds the entire Defense Department budget.
It's $1 trillion a year in
Yes.
interest. Just to carry the money that we owe is $1 trillion a year.
Yes.
That is unbelievable.
And rising rapidly. So like, I mean, a country is no different from a person. Country overspends, country goes bankrupt. Same as a person who overspends goes bankrupt. So it's not like optional to solve these things. It's essential. So
We're going to go bankrupt.
yes,
We are.
because
That's the it's horrible news. Yeah, we're going bankrupt. And let me see what they say here. If America goes broke, nothing else matters. If the country goes insolvent, if all the money is just spent on paying interest on debt, there's no money left for anything. A country is no different from a person. Countries, okay. When they say a country is no different from a person, they're talking about, like, yeah, money spent in credit and all of those other things. So it's like you gotta think of the country as like a unit, like one how do I put this? You got to see it as like one central, like, can't think of the word. Like, we're gonna you can say it's no different from a person, but yeah, I don't know why I can't think of that word for whatever reason. It doesn't matter that much. But yeah, you gotta think of it. You can't think of it as a person, whereas one single person can make all of the purchases at once. It gets all the debt at once. He can just abuse the credit to its utmost end. Maybe even go bankrupt. I don't know if a country go bankrupt, but yeah, you can do all of these things, and there's like dire and there's dire consequences. It's just that the decisions you make as an individual is going to affect you and your body, right? And maybe even some people that you're tethered to, right? As in, like, more like your allies, in other words. But how do I put this? Whereas in a country, yeah, it's like all your bones and your cells, like everything that you represent as an individual. Think of that as like your cells and your bones, and like your genetic makeup is like different individuals, different human beings that you essentially represent. Like, that's like America. Like one person, it'd be America, and everything that makes up America is like the individuals that are essentially along for the ride in all the decisions that the individual makes. Kind of a crazy a metaphor there, but I fuck with it. I actually kind of like it. Country overspends, country goes bankrupt. Same as the person who overspends and goes bankrupt. So it's not optional. So yeah, very. There's more here. Oh, that's okay. To solve, it's not optional to solve these things. It's essential. Yeah, for sure. Wait, what? Okay, I don't know what that was about. So let's go back. Yeah, I hard agree there. JD Vance, slow news today. Okay, what are we even going to talk about? Are you sure? Like, bro. Yeah, that's hello. Earth to JD. Like, my guy, you got your head in this thing? Like, what's going on, my guy? Like, Elon over here cutting up, cuz. So Senator Rand Paul, I'd vote for it if we got I'd vote for it if we got real spending cuts, but this bill is the largest debt increase in US history, talking $5 trillion. That's like giving your 16-year-old a credit card, watch them rack up $2,000 on booze and gambling, then raising their limit to $10,000. It's just irresponsible. Yeah, that's very much so. That's very much so true. Let me see what they got. Let me see what he actually has to say. Like, Rand Paul is a Republican. Like, last time, if I recall correctly. Well, let's talk
For the
about it
debt,
first.
they've been buying booze.
Senator Rand Paul joins us, Republican of Kentucky. He's been all over the place right now. He's a man of the hour in many ways. Pressure is being applied, but Senator Paul, you've been through this before. What do we not know about this big, beautiful bill that you do?
Well, I would call it the big, not yet beautiful. You know, could be made prettier. Could do a little touch up to make it more acceptable. There's much about it I like. I mean, I like the tax cuts. I voted for the tax cuts in 2017. I'd like to make them permanent. I agree with Art Laffer that you can reduce tax rates and actually have more revenue. So I don't accept the CBO argument that the tax cuts will add to the debt. I am for spending cuts. I don't think there's sufficient spending cuts in there, but I will work to try to put more spending cuts in there, and I could vote for it if we get more spending cuts in there. But the one thing I can't support is the third part of the bill.
Hold on. So let's stop right there. Yeah. So much like what I said the other day, it's great that we have Republicans that are not in support of this bill because it's a horrible bill. But you have to listen to them. You have to listen to people and figure out why these are why they don't think they're good bills and what changes they will make for the bill to be actually acceptable. So after what you just heard, he says that these tax cuts is okay. He likes tax cuts, which is bad for Americans. But he wants more tax cuts. He wants to add more to it. And I'm like, but bro, like it's not enough. Like you cutting all of these programs and all of these services for for the working class Americans is like it's not enough for you. And that's just actually that's a horrible idea. So that's I can't. So people got to really pay attention to the things that people's actually saying before they get sucked into supporting somebody just because they don't agree with something, that you also don't support. That the why, the nuance matters. Those in the details. That's what they always say, right?
That's increasing the debt ceiling $5 trillion. Because I think that is like drunken teenagers that run up. You give your 16-year-old a credit card. A month later, they've got $2,000 worth of debt. They've been buying booze and gambling and acting irresponsibly. Do you give them now a credit card that has a $10,000 debt limit, or do you restrict their debt limit? So I think we should put rules and strictures, try to control the spending of Congress by maybe increasing the debt ceiling for a few months, and then see if they can act in appropriate adult fashion to control spending, and then we have the discussion again every 3 months.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, raising the debt ceiling. Yeah. How do I put this? You talking about raising the debt ceiling for a couple of months first, and just see how it kind of goes. I mean, bro, I guess. I mean, what if what if in that 3 months it goes freaking crazy, and then and you're stuck with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you damn near hit the debt ceiling, and you're kind of stuck with it until you figure out some way to pay all that off. Yeah, I'm not with that at all. Well, how do I put this? Regarding raising the debt ceiling at all, especially in a country as volatile of economy as this, especially considering Trump's tariffs, things of that nature. It definitely seems. I would actually agree that it seems very irresponsible to do something, to make a decision such as that for a country such as this with this type of economy. But the thing he needs to understand is the economy is only going to go much worse because the Republicans are making bad decisions. So, and when I say bad decisions, I'm talking about like appeasing to the rich or appeasing to the wealthy. That is not helping Americans. That is only helping. That's helping the wrong. That's helping the wrong. That is helping the wrong group. Like it is what it is.
But what they're wanting to do is raise it $5 trillion. And one thing we know from past history, if you raise it $5 trillion, they will borrow $5 trillion. So It really doesn't become any kind of leash if that's what we give them.
Is this applicable? Liz Warren came out. Elizabeth Warren. She wants to get rid of the debt ceiling. President Trump agrees with her. Is this applicable, and would it appease?
She wants to remove the debt ceiling. Boy. Senator Warren, I agree the debt limit should be scrapped to prevent an economic catastrophe. Let's pass a bipartisan bill and get rid of it forever. But jacking up the debt limit by $4 trillion to fund more tax breaks for billionaires is an outrage. Okay. So, man, to prevent an economic catastrophe, I mean, she makes it sound great, but getting rid of it forever, I mean, it just entirely depends on how everybody uses it, how we abuse it rather. If it's abused and it's done in the wrong way, then I mean, what else can we say? It's not going to be helpful. But like ultimately, yeah. Raising the debt ceiling, I don't know. It's like at this point, bro, if you're offering money to the U.S. government, it's almost as if, and I'm not saying like for certain or anything like that, but it's almost as if it's like a donation at this point, cause like hey, appreciate the help, but maybe you'll see some benefits, you'll see some changes, you'll benefit from it, but you won't be getting your money back anytime soon.
You, or am I misinterpreting the fundamentals of the debt ceiling, what it is?
Well, it's sort of the opposite of what I want. They don't ever want to vote on the debt ceiling, and I want to vote on it every 3 months. So it's two polar opposites. If you never voted on it, there would be no leverage to tell the people borrowing and spending the money they're doing a bad job. It's an inflection point. It's a point of leverage. It's a point of time for debate. So in the past, under Biden, he would ask that we extend the debt ceiling for 2 years with no dollar amount, and we could spend and borrow as much as they felt like they wanted to spend and borrow with no limit for 2 years. $5 trillion is essentially limitless, because I'm not sure they can borrow more than $5 trillion. They might be able to, but it is the same thing. No restrictions on your spending. So it's the opposite thing to do. And in the past, no conservative Republican has ever voted to raise the debt ceiling. In fact, this debt ceiling is such immense proportion that it will be the largest increase in debt ceiling in our history, and it's frankly just not conservative.
Are you close to getting what you want? I mean, is there, are you guys negotiating? Are you getting a little bit like, is this going to happen, or are you a hard no matter what?
It takes 4 of us. If 4 of us could say we're not going to vote to have the debt ceiling on this bill, and we want a separate vote, they will separate it. That's the only way it happens. I'm the only one that's absolutely saying that now, but you've heard more from Ron Johnson on the spending, that spending needs to go back to pre-pandemic levels. I completely agree. We should, not be spending at this alarming elevated rate that we've been doing ever since the pandemic came. And so there are the 2 sort of wants and asks that we have. We want lower spending levels, and we'd like to get rid of the debt ceiling. If 4 of us would say so, we'd get it. The question is whether or not there are 4 people with resolve that would stand up and demand it, because then that's the only way they get the bill passed. And yes, I'll vote for it. I'll vote to make the tax cuts permanent. I was for them before. I'm still for them. I will vote for spending cuts. Do they have to be perfect? Do they have to be every spending cut I want? No. I'm willing to tolerate whatever the majority can get to, or whatever every Republican can get to. But I'm just not voting to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion, because at that point, Republicans own the debt. We've always historically blamed the Democrats for big spending and deficit spending, and it was true. It was a Democrat problem. But once Republicans vote for this, realize the deficit this year is going to be over $2 trillion. And if you raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion, it means you're going to be well over $2 trillion next year, too. That isn't conservative, but then who's left? If I were to vote for this, who is left on any high moral ground to call out the deficit spenders and the big spenders?
Are you suspicious at all of Lindsey Graham going over to Ukraine, I think just before the drone attack, which officially we did not know about, was in the works? I'm hearing the intelligence community did know about it, but maybe they didn't tell the executive branch, the president for whom they worked, or though that could be. What are your thoughts on Graham, that visit, and how this impacts the bill?
There's a lot going on that's making peace more difficult to get to. I am sympathetic to President Trump and also very supportive of his foreign policy. He's talked about trying to end the war, but escalating the war doesn't bring us any closer. Lindsey Graham is also offering a new sanctions bill that has worldwide sanctions. So what Lindsey Graham is offering is if you buy oil or gas from Russia, you'll get a 500% tariff that can be doubled in 90 days.
Damn.
A 500% tariff becomes an embargo. So, President Trump originally had a 140% tariff on China, and everybody said that would end Chinese trade. He went down to 30 because the markets became rattled at ending the trade precipitously. A 500% tariff on China would end all trade with China, but guess what? India buys Russia's oil. Do we want to have a 500% tariff on India that would end all trade with India? Turkey trades with Russia. Do we want to end all trade with Turkey? Most of the members of the European Union trade with Russia. Do we want to end all trade with the European Union? It would be the largest worldwide disaster in the history of our country, greater than any tariff war we've ever had. It's the most ill-conceived bill I have ever seen in Congress, and yet it has 80 co-sponsors now because most of them think it's a Russian sanctions bill and don't realize that it's a worldwide embargo if the countries don't kowtow to what we tell them to do.
Yep. If you don't mind, quickly, you were actually terrific when questioning Ron Rowe and the FBI about what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania.
These tariffs, bro. This tariff thing is not what they, it's not what Trump think it is, bro. And all these people that had no idea what a tariff was before voting for him, man, shame on y'all, bro. This is truly a faithful season.
You were aghast by some of the failures, as so many of us were, and this thing has kind of been brushed under the carpet, it seems like to me. And you were talking about accountability, and there hasn't really been any. I'm hearing that there may be some developments. There is a lot of stuff in these reports that have gone underreported, but what's next in the July 13th Butler probe, in the West Palm Beach for that matter?
The most important thing that we discovered in investigating this is that, thank God, they finally allowed the counter snipers to be in Butler. That was the first time they allowed President Trump to have counter snipers. For 6 months, his Secret Service team, as well as his campaign team, had been asking for counter snipers. Counter snipers are the people who were up on roofs with long guns to take out a sniper. So when that sniper raised up the first time, almost killed the president, did kill a gentleman behind him, and severely wounded other people, he was popping his head up to do another round of bullets, and there's a very good chance the president would have died that day, except for there was a Secret Service counter sniper that took him out with one single shot on the second go-around. That had been denied to President Trump for 6 months, and that was one of the crazy things, is that we also think that there could have been political motivation. We don't have proof of that, and the Secret Service still refuses to name names. They say some people have been disciplined, but they haven't told us whom. Yeah. We do know the head of the agency left under a cloud. We do know that the new head of the Secret Service is someone Donald Trump trusts that was from his own detail team. Those are all good things. But a lot went wrong that never should have got wrong, and all we can say is we are very, very lucky and thankful that the president wasn't assassinated.
One thing about the counter snipers, yes, that was the first occasion that they deployed the counter snipers. There was no counter surveillance unit, however. And the culture was such that you couldn't even ask. Counter snipers without a counter surveillance unit, my understanding is like, I mean, it almost makes no sense. It's just you need a counter surveillance unit with the counter snipers. And yeah, they took out the shooter. How about that? You know, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of Dallas. I'm sorry, you know. And
there was also no one in charge. So you would think that afternoon, several hours before the event, someone would walk around and say, "Hey, there's a low-lying roof 50 yards from the stage. Someone could lay up there with a gun." No one noticed it because no one was in charge. Afterwards, no one took responsibility. And there was a window of time of at least 3 or 4 minutes, and really 45 minutes, when they could have taken the president off the stage and no one had the wherewithal. Even when people were shouting, man on a roof, gun, the crowd was shouting that, no one took the president off the stage. They had about a 3-minute window, and because their communications was so screwed up, but whoever's in charge shouldn't do this again because they showed utter incompetence.
Well, I think it's beyond that, really. The Senate work was excellent, the report. A lot of people didn't read it, but I think we need a whole commission because there's so many unanswered questions and so many questions that actually haven't been asked. I again commend you, though, for your service and what you did in the fallout from Butler. Thank you very much, Senator Rand Paul, who happens to be an eye doctor, an ophthalmologist. That is incredibly impressive. You can operate on an eyeball. The most fascinating organ, isn't it?
Absolutely, without question.
Thanks
for having me.
And you can go in there and make it right. Thank you very much, Senator. We'll see you again, and we'll be right back.
I don't know. Make it right.
Senator Rand Paul joins us, Republican of Kentucky.
Somebody making it right, man. He's on the wrong side of history right now. Like I said, you live in America, bro. This whole place runs off the back of the working class, bro. The people that build America, those are the people that keep this motherfucker going. When all these what they people don't seem to understand is especially the people that, especially like these the capitalistic minded individuals, the people that think capitalism is like the only true way of flourishing in America, holding water for the capitalists, like voting on behalf of the capitalists, glazing the capitalists, like all of this stuff is like very problematic and very worker class. The working class is the people that drive America, that keep America going. Without us, you're going to be left with a whole bunch of money that's just floating around, not going anywhere. And then everybody that has all the money, like those capitalists y'all been voting for, that y'all been glazing, holding water for, they gonna just pack up their stuff up and then find some other country to build a big ass house and create their business, establish their wealth. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go to these other places and just develop those lands. They'll go to Dubai and just fucking party for the rest of their lives. It's like that. The billionaire class, the top 10%, they don't have any real love for this country. You know what I'm saying? Like the people in the middle class that work, that's the true driving force in America. And that is the people, that's the working, that is the class that everybody should be more or less accommodating for. That's how I feel about it. So let's see what else I kind of got going on here. So yeah, just kind of retweets and stuff like that. The people just kind of, I guess, agreeing with Elon. We have something else here.
As a club shows the future president
Let's see what they're talking about right here.
Of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests. Among them, the financier Jeffrey Epstein. More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras.
Pointing at women and then showing, hey, yeah, they're watching this. Don't get froggy. But don't do your normal thing, Epstein. We gotta wait till embassy, find something else to do. You feel me? Find somebody else to point that camera at. That's funny.
Exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances. Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But
grab him by the, you know what?
As the president said of a Mar-a-Lago party.
That was it? Oh, that was it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they were definitely buddy-buddy. They were buddy-buddy, and then Elon hit him with the, hit him with the people's eyebrow right there. Like, man, what is this about, people? What y'all think about your president now? Being buddy-buddy with Jeffrey Epstein, huh? Elon Musk is saying the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year. You don't say. Can I finally say Trump's tariffs are super stupid? Yeah, listen, bro. This is why the Trump tariffs are super stupid, okay? Listen, tariffs in of itself isn't a bad thing. Like you can talk to many different economists You can talk to historians. Like the way tariffs were implemented in the past were strategic in many cases, maybe not all cases, but how to kind of make this kind of simple. But again, it being a strategic thing is a good idea. Definitely, we all can get behind tariffs when implemented correctly. The problem is Trump did not implement these things carefully nor strategically. He, in effect, just more or less just added tariff based on in proportion to the tariffs that's been placed on us. And that's not smart. That's not strategic. Like, you can't just say, okay, China has a 30% tariff on us, so we're going to put a 17% or 15% tariff on them. Oh, it's not that bad. It's just, it's somewhat reciprocal because it's like it's half of what they charge us. So it's still kind of fair. As a matter of fact, we're still serving them more than they're serving us. And it's like, my nigga, it's just not that simple. It's not about making people not offended. It's because it's not, you know, as big of a number or anything like that. You have to account for. It's so much you have to consider as far as the right number, the right tariff to the right tariff to charge the American citizens. You know what I'm saying, or the importers of America. So for him to just, again, like, it's just, you have to consider like there's just so many things you have to put into consideration before you implement like a tariff that's actually, I would say, respectable. Then just to go with like some random numbers is completely baffling. Like, I will give him some credit saying that just to put like the number out there, then but still open up the tables up for negotiations. It kind of leaves. He would be saving America money by not having to pay anybody to essentially research stuff, the country and stuff like that. But even though you kind of would come up with a better, would come up with a better like negotiation if you kind of have the people like to research these places themselves. I don't know, man. I mean, then there's like the country. Then there's, I don't know what country was. I forget what country that was, but it's literally only inhabited by penguins. I'm just like, bro, it's so embarrassing. But so there's a lot of things there's a lot of things. I mean, there's some good in how they kind of executed this situation, but still, like, I still think the better thing to do was to have people investigate themselves and come up with a better tariff than what they kind of had did. But I mean, I would argue that had they done the proper research before, you know, trying to implement these tariffs, they would have just came up with a conclusion that, it wouldn't have been that much different than what we currently already have. I think the Democratic Party already put in a substantial amount of research into like these current tariffs, or whomever implemented. I don't know. Whomever implemented them tariffs probably did a pretty decent job in research and choosing whatever percentage tariffs that we have already kind of had established. But that's like the most broad and like vague take of the tariff situation as a whole. I think if we would have put a little bit extra thought into it, I would say that the right thing to do. I would say the right thing to do is to like look at the individual industries that these countries, that we import from these countries, and then take a look at what we already have in America, and then if there's already an industry in America that already provides like whatever service, then okay, maybe you can implement those type of tariffs because we already have that thing being created in America. So people will just be more incentivized to purchase in-house as opposed to purchasing things from across here at a discounted price. So that'd be more intelligent, you know. But as it stands now, you're just forcing people you're forcing corporations to set up shop in America in an economy that just they can't allow for the type of pay that they are normally paying people across seas. It's just kind of just is what it is. It's just a lot more harder for business owners and stuff like that. And for a business owner to completely bypass that reality and just vote for Donald Trump, knowing damn well that they will very much so lose their access to imports. I mean, it just kind of goes to show. I mean, what else can you say? Like, those people voted for their own demise, and they voted for their own demise off of the understanding that they'd be getting more money. It was just all selfishness, you know. They voted on the behalf of selfishness, and what they got is a biting as a sting in the ass. So, as far as I'm concerned, those people deserve it. Anyway, back to Elon take. What is this about? What is this? I don't even know what this is.
There was a story that I read about him that really affected me, which was when he was talking to Bill Gates. And Bill Gates had just taken out some huge short on Tesla, like $1 billion short or something. And, and Elon was like, why would you do that? Why would you short Tesla? And Bill goes, well, I talked to my financial advisors and I looked at the math and there's no way it's overvalued. And so I'm going to make money on the short. And Elon goes, what do you care about making money? I thought you were into electric cars and climate change and saving the world. What are you doing, like trying to save a few bucks and betting against? And he just walked away in disgust. And I think he never talked to Bill Gates after that. Damn. And that's when I realized, like, Elon's a purist. He means what he says. Like, the money is a tool for him to get what he's trying to do. And so I take him at face value, which is the crazy thing, because there are a lot of people who set these audacious goals to inspire people, but you kind of know they don't really mean it. Elon, I take at face value. So I really do think he intends to get to Mars. I don't think he's joking about that. And I think he means to get there within a defined window of time. And I don't think it's just like an inspirational faraway goal. I think he's very, very concretely going to do whatever it takes, because Elon doesn't want to go down in history as the electric car guy or even the guy who saved America guy.
Yeah.
He wants to go down as a guy who got humanity to the stars.
Yeah.
And I don't think, again, I'll give him more credit than that. I don't even think he wants to go down as the I got humanity to the stars guy. He's just like, I want to get to the stars. And so I have to make it happen in this lifetime. The only way that I get to experience the science fiction world in my head is if I get to the stars. And so that's so inspirational. I think that drives everything. So I think the government was just a thing that got in his way.
Isn't that guy that got cancer? Guy got same kind of cancer that bone cancer or something like that, stage 4 or something like that. I think that's what. All right. So Elon apparently wants to go to the stars, and he's not. And he understands money is a tool to get to the stars. All right, okay, Elon. All right, you got some people to glaze you up a little bit. We get it. This guy. Okay, we talking about it. Here we go. Here's some juicy stuff right here. The relationship between Trump and Epstein is well established. Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 7 times, though it's not clear he ever went on to the island. Are you sure about that? He just made me spill out some of my quinoa. Bro, are you sure about that? You're not sure if he went to Epstein's island, though he rode on Epstein's plane at least 7 times. You just saw him on the video pointing at girls. Dancing and stuff like that, and pointing out NBC, warning them that the media is here. I don't know, my guy. It's okay. He probably just didn't know. Here's what Trump said about Epstein in a 2002 New York Magazine profile. Epstein likes to tell people that he's a loner, a man who's never touched alcohol or drugs, and one whose nightlife is far from energetic. And yet, if you talk to Donald Trump, a different Epstein emerges. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone. He's a lot fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Uh-oh, that's not good. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. All righty. Very interesting. Donald Trump letting everybody know what it is. Epstein is the life of the party, evidently. Elon Musk, what are you sharing this time? Some Ian Mills, Cheong, president versus Elon, who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should have impeached, and J.D. Vance should replace him. Okay. Do we really want J.D. Vance? I don't know about that. Elon Musk says time to drop the really big bomb. Oh, well, he just said what he said. He's just saying what this guy said hours ago. I mean, he's just repeating what Elon said or whatever. The world's greatest fiction writers couldn't have conceived of a timeline like this. You got that. Boy, are you correct? This is bars, my guy. That is a bar for real. Elon Musk, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contract, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Dragon spacecraft. Donald Trump says the easiest way to save money on our biggest budget, billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. Damn, I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. That is super wild right there. Dragon spacecraft. I want to see if there's anything on YouTube or social media. On Google about that. What is it called? Dragon spacecraft. Let's check it out. Okay. All right, Google, let us know what it is. The SpaceX Dragon spacecraft is a family of reusable spacecraft designed for transporting cargo and crew to and from Earth's orbit. Oh, I know what that is. No, that's that. Isn't that that little thing that those women was on like a month back or something like that? I forgot all their names, but a bunch of celebrity women. Particularly the International Space Station, ISS. It consists of pressurized section, the capsule, and a trunk module, and has both crewed and cargo versions. The Dragon spacecraft is currently the only U.S.-made spacecraft capable of transporting crews to and from the ISS. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Crew Dragon, designed for transporting astronauts. It can carry up to 7 people to and from orbit. Cargo Dragon, designed for transporting cargo. It can deliver supplies to the ISS and is renewable, according to Wikipedia. The one is retired. The first version for 23 cargo missions to the ISS between 2010 and 2020. The two, a newer version with both crew and cargo versions. The Crew Dragon. The Crew Dragon is a primary spacecraft used to crew the missions to ISS. Red Dragon, a proposed version of potential Mars exploration. The Excel is a proposed version for gateway logistics services to the Lunar Gateway. SpaceX uses the Falcon 9 rocket to launch Dragon spacecraft. The capsule returns to Earth through splashdown. Dragon is equipped with structures and maneuvering in orbit and launch escape systems. Okay, so the splashdown, is that like it lands in water or something like that? Yeah, so I guess they can run it. Yeah, I mean, that's if you even believe that they actually broke the firmament to begin with. A lot of people are not particularly convinced that this thing even went out of space, and there's actually some video, some exposés about that that campaign that those women went on. Like they didn't even leave. It didn't even take off, is what they were saying. That it was like all of the images you see in the windows was just like computer generated and stuff like that. So there's some conspiracy theories out there that this thing is like a hoax and all that good stuff. So whatever you want to believe, I suppose, right? So what is this about? Trump holding? So Elon was on Trump's heels. He
makes
was on
it
his
incredible.
heels. So let's see what he's talking about. On his heels.
People, we're lucky to have. I have to tell you, I want to thank you all, and Elon, I want to thank you. I know you've been through a lot with this horrible situation that happens.
That's right, saving America.
It's very unfair. What he is a patriot. Here's a man that I can tell you, he's a friend of mine. He's become a friend of mine. He supported me in the election. That's when I got to know him. Really, I knew him a little bit from the first term, but not much. but he's a patriot more than anything else. He's never think of it. He has never asked me for a thing. He could have. I always say, I wonder if he's ever going to ask me for something. And that's always subject to change. And if it does change,
That's so bizarre. He didn't ask him for anything, but he gave him. That's cap to me, right? Then so when he was given like the Doge thing, the doggy like little title, head of doggy. Yes, I call it doggy. I don't call it Doge. It's called doggy around here. Elon had the understanding that he was gonna get like an entire like wing of the White House, but it actually ended up being like an office or something like that, or like a much smaller section. Why did he think he was gonna get a wing? Why did that miscommunication even happen? Or if I'm getting it wrong, right? But why did that type of a miscommunication like occur if he was never promised anything? If he was never promised anything from the government, or if he never asked for it to begin with? It's just kind of bizarre to me. So let me actually hear what he said one more time, just because I got that wrong.
he supported me in the election. That's when I got to know him. Really, I knew him a little bit from the first term, but not much. But he's a patriot more than anything else. He's never think of it. He has never asked me for a thing. He could have. I always say.
So weird. So he didn't ask you for anything, but you gave him a section of the White House, and he thought it was going to be a bigger section. Are you sure he didn't ask you for anything? That's kind of strange to me.
I wonder if he's ever going to ask me for something. And that's always subject to change. And if it does change, I'll let you know about it. But Elon has never asked me for a thing. I mean, I got rid of the electric car mandate. I have no idea how that affects him, but possibly.
You don't know how that's going to affect him? Isn't that like his whole fucking car line?
Possibly not good. I don't know. But he's never asked me for a thing. And I think that's an amazing tribute. I did get activated last week when I saw what they were doing. I said, he makes an incredible product, and we're going to go out and tell people you can't do that stuff and support him. They got to support him, because if he wasn't doing this, he wouldn't have any of these difficulties. And I think it's getting less and less. Pam has done a great job with regard to all of the, I know the kind of investigations that are going on. If she finds them, which she will. She already found 4 of them. But I think they're going to suffer very grave consequences, because they're really terrorists when you think about it. They're terrorists at a high level. And I think the people that are financing them, they could very well be people I know, people that you write about. But those people are in big trouble. So they better cut it out. But Elon's a patriot. We want to thank you very much for the job you're doing. Thank you very much.
Can you imagine how mad he was? Can you imagine how mad he was, like being told, like, yeah, we're gonna be cutting off one of your major sources of revenue. The electric car mandate is what he was talking about. There was like great potential with him in that mandate, and he just cut it. Here's what it is. I mean, I don't think. This is probably one of my more conservative takes, but I'm not particularly convinced 2035 mandate for electric vehicles was something that America was particularly ready for. I don't know. Maybe like in terms of like certain, maybe not like maybe I gotta take a look at the bill. Maybe there was some nuances given like free reigns for like big rigs, or those import companies, those the trucking industry and stuff like that. Maybe they are allowed to use their diesel, gas trucks and stuff like that. Maybe some other, delivery vehicles such as UPS or USPS or something like that. Maybe they were still allowed to use gas and stuff like that. But maybe just like largely residents are only able to purchase electric vehicles. So maybe it like was limited to that. And I would say the smart thing to do is to kind of ease electric vehicles into this whole entire economy, not necessarily mandated too soon, I mean, unless they thought 2035 was soon enough. Anyway, so let's see here. Time to drop a really great bomb. Okay, here's the big tweet right here. Here's the big boy. It is. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. I forgot his middle name. Yeah, that's it. That's the really big bomb, as he put it. He says, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Very, very, very big deal. Yeah, and I got a couple of friends that seen the Epstein file list, Epstein files list, whatever. What Epstein files? Oh my God, let me get my brain back in order. They've seen the list, and they've, in quote, they say all of these lists are fake until they see Donald Trump's name. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of funny to me that they say such a thing. But I mean, what else can I say? Like, when you know that Donald Trump's name has been redacted or removed from that list, I don't know. It does leave a sneaking suspicion that list has been tampered with, and you never know who's on that list. You don't know. You just don't know who's on that list if somebody like Donald Trump is not on that list. You know what I mean? So that's quite problematic. So I would say that those individuals that you see on that list may be safe at the very least until we get a list with Donald Trump's name that's actually on it. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, those lists out there seem like they're fake because Elon Musk himself has stated that those aren't the real that the real files has not been made public. So yeah, that's really important news there. Which I want to say something about this too. People got to really be careful about the misinformation that's out there. Like, really, really be careful about misinformation. I mean, I would say you really got to be taking everything you see with a grain of salt, especially if it's unverifiable. Like, you can make note of it. I suggest making note of it just for like conversation and stuff like that, and just to be aware if it happens to fall in your lap. But to be liberated or to be energized into like committing to large scale action that can compromise your future. I don't know. Kind of seem that I don't know about that one. But upon when something actually is verified, we'll go with that. When something is actually verified and there's evidence, proving it, backing it, then yeah, maybe it's time for some action. But gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with misinformation. Then we gotta be careful about how much energy you put into these conversations online, because apparently there's a lot of bots rolling around here, and it's gonna get to a time where people are gonna be using these AI videos to create false images and propaganda. So be worried about that as well. So like the misinformation is gonna be hitting a whole new standard in the coming years. So just, man, it's gonna be tough to be a boomer in a couple of years when these AI videos and AI images and deep faces get much more out of control than what they currently are. I think that's it though, right? Everything else is kind of like him just going crazy and him just doing his regular thing. Let's see though. This has got better and better. Go ahead and make my day. This will both end the International Space Station and simultaneously provide nowhere to safely deorbit it. I don't know what this is about. What are you talking about? As their blow up escalates, Trump suggests terminating Musk's federal contracts. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix my face. There's more going on. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Elon was wearing thin. I always, there's a lot going on. What's going on here? There was exchanging blows at one point. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Why? Why is he telling anybody this? Like, why? This is so bizarre. Why would Donald Trump tell? What? That is so strange. Why are you going on Twitter and telling everybody this? That is completely bizarre for him to do something like this. I mean, like, really? That I don't know. That is so bizarre to me that he would actually go to on Twitter, Elon Musk's platform, and start talking shit about him on his own platform. That is so, dude. That is actually freaking crazy to me. And he just went crazy. He just went crazy. Really, Donald? He had the nuts to say something like that. That is OD. What the fuck? Anyway, wow, that's crazy. And it gets better and better. Go ahead and make my day, he says. Such an obvious lie, and it's so sad. And then Elon says he's lying. Trump fires back at Elon. The online battle begins. Yeah. Readers added context. Elon Musk has always been in favor of ending EV tax credits. Okay. Also, he's actually okay with ending EV tax credits. Huh. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna read all these. Or maybe this one. In my view, we should end all governmental subsidies, including those for EVs, oils, and gas. Yeah, this is November 14, 2024. All right. Okay. He reposted what Elon Musk is doing is genuinely heroic. He will win no friends in politics and will be ostracized by the current administration, but he's totally right. We, the entire Western world, simply cannot go on pretending our ways of life is sustainable. Historically, countries build up surpluses in peacetime and then go into debt to fight wars. We are going into more and more debt during peacetime. Clever economics will tell you this is sustainable. Clever economists will tell you this is sustainable, and it is not. And someone has to do something about it. Okay. This is what he said about Jared. I am delighted to nominate Jared Isaacman, an accomplished business leader, philanthropist, pilot, and astronaut, and as administrator of National Aerodynamics and Space Administration, NASA. Jared will drive NASA's mission of discovery and inspiration, paving the way for what are we're driving under NASA. Jared will drive NASA's mission of self-discovery and inspiration, paving the way for groundbreaking achievements in space science, technology, and exploration. Over the past 25 years, as the founder of and CEO of Shift4, Jared has demonstrated exceptional leadership, building a trailblazing global financial technology company. He also co-founded and served as CEO of the Draken International Defense Aerospace Company for over a decade, supporting the U.S. Department of Defense and our allies. Jared's passion for space, astronaut experience, and dedication to memories, mysteries of the universe, and advancing a new space economy make it daily suited lead nations to a bold new era. Congratulations, Jared. Blah blah blah. Okay, so somebody's asked this. So somebody's asking who's right, Elon or Donald, And we got 1 million people that voted. We got 14 hours left. I don't know what. Well, okay. Well, let me think. Well, we're gonna read more. So we actually gonna vote. We're gonna vote live on the air, everybody. So just give me a second as I read the rest of this argument. And it's pretty funny. It's gonna be. Well, I don't know. No, I didn't see anything on. No. Donald Trump didn't share this. So yeah. So yeah, with Elon posting this on his own platform, yeah, best believe he's gonna be. This poll is gonna be kind of skewed. Because so many of Elon Musk's, supporters is following him, and they will be voting for Elon. Anyway, so Elon Musk says Congress is spending America into bankruptcy. Interest costs on U.S. federal debt. Yep. So it's climbing and climbing and climbing. 2014 was 416 billion. And currently, in 10 years, after 10 years, it rose to $1 trillion over what's about $700 billion, man. It's freaking crazy, very scary stuff. So Elon Musk, he agrees with this guy. At some point, Congress has to stop this endless cycle of out of control deficit spending. Elon Musk, balanced budget or bust. Okay, we got what are you talking about here? The Hill reports Senator John Thune, our nation is simply deeply in debt right now, and next year our country will owe more than we produce for the first time since the end of World War II. That's a very bad place to be. Yes, indeed. Yes, the heck indeed. So he's basically going in on our economy right now, and it's obviously under a particular leadership. Elon Musk, not even those in Congress who had to vote on the big ugly spending bill had time to read it. Of course, this is so common in Congress, in all branches of the White House. It's like these people are presented with this bill, and it's like I think big bullshit bills like literally 1,000 pages, and they're given like 72 hours to go through it. Like, are you joking? Like, it's like they don't have time to do it they don't have time to engage in anything with their life, and they'll 72 hours outside of read that bill. You know what I'm saying? So that is very crazy, very crazy. Elon Musk wears the Mike Johnson of 2023. $100,000 per second. Holy balls. The federal debt has just topped 31 trillion, and the Congressional Budget Office now estimates federal spending for fiscal year 2023 will total $6 trillion, or more than $197,000 per second. This is not sustainable. No, it's not. It's definitely not sustainable. It's like I said, man. Basically, what's just going to happen is America's not going to be able to pay these debts off, and it will no longer be able to access other people's money. It's just going to lose all credibility and asking for money. It just kind of is what it is. Tesla Dojo AI training computer making progress. We start building Dojo 2 online later this year. Okay, this is just some kind of AI thing, and I'm so done with AI stuff these days, bro. I remember. Yeah, we just read this. Elon reposted, I have a plan on cut spending. It says increase spending. Yeah, it's a little meme there. Where is the man who wrote these words? Okay, I cannot believe. What is this? Oh, this is 2013. Oh, man, yeah. Boy. Donald Trump is Mr. Eat My Own Words, bro. Man. And people just accept it. Like the MAGA guys, they just accept, they eat it all up because he eats his own words and they eat up his words. It's like everybody's eating it. It's like Trump is regurgitating this nonsense, and his supporters are just, they just grabbing it by hand and just like slurping it down like some weirdos, bro. like some pigs. I cannot believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I am a Republican and I am embarrassed. I'm sure you are. No member of Congress should be eligible for re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficit's not allowed. Oh my God. Trump is a what a clown. No member of Congress should be eligible for a re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficit's not. Yeah, like I said, bro. That's some clown behavior. When will the Senate pass a reconciliation bill? The Senate is losing confidence in the reconciliation bill. 40 hours ago, there was 75% chance it was passed before July. Now it's 50% and dropping. So they talking about Tesla cars. Tesla tops imported car sales, South Korea. Okay. Musk calls for ending EV tax credit. We should get rid of all credits. Yeah, I remember. Said this a few times already. The Dragon thing. Dragon arrives at the hangar at 39A. And for the head of the first flight, Falcon 9 started in Large Dragon. Big ugly bill will increase the deficit by $2.5 billion. Did we just read this? I mean, did we just watch this? We
growing. I think that we've got this enormous federal budget deficit, and it's a $2 trillion deficit. It keeps growing. Our interest payments are higher than our Defense Department budget. That's I think was the real wake-up call for me, was looking at seeing that the interest payments on national debt exceeded the Defense Department budget. And that was only growing over time, which meant if we didn't do something about this, then there won't be any money for anything. We'll just be servicing debt.
And you know how to read an income statement, and you know how to read a balance sheet. You've had some business experience. I'm kidding, but
yeah,
you know about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just don't want America to go bankrupt.
So it's a call to action. You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean.
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress.
Okay, I suppose. Oh boy. Oh man. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House and the Republicans would be 51 and 49 in the Senate. Yeah. And then such ingratitude. Oh boy. Dropped the mic moment right there. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. So they just use him and abuse him, basically. Drop him like a bad habit. Keep the EV solar incentives cuts. Keep the EV/solar incentives cut in the bill. Also cut all the crazy spending increases in the big ugly bill so that America doesn't go bankrupt. Ooh, excuse me. Autism Capital says Elon has been publicly and privately saying he doesn't care about the EV tax credit since last year. This is direct from Forbes. Both he and Trump have also publicly together said this during the speeches and rallies. The narrative that this tariff is because of the EV credit is false. Yeah, man, he just Trump just lied on this boy, I guess, man. Musk said, I think I will get over of all credits when next Thursday. This is okay. Musk made a similar statement in July. Take away all subsidies. They will only help Tesla. Eliminating the tax credit could potentially hurt other EV manufacturers more than it would hurt Tesla, the greatest global EV provider, and lead to decreased competition for the company, causing a potential dip in demand that could prompt other EV manufacturers to reduce production. according to experts. Trump campaigned on ending Biden's EV mandate, though he did not specifically target the tax credit. His transition team is reportedly planning to eliminate it. Reuters reportedly told that's what our name sources. Okay. And the big ugly spending bill will make things much worse. Elon Musk is on point. Last year in my Festivus report, I expressed that in 2024 alone, Americans paid $892 billion in interest. That's 10% of the entire federal budget gone. Not for bridges, schools, or health care, just to keep creditors at bay. Interestingly wasteful. That's actually pretty funny. Do you know what really grinds my gears? And it's one of the most wallet draining aspects of federal spending, the astronomical sums of money we are wasting just to be able to cover the interest on our national debt. Let's start with the facts. As John Adams once said, facts are stubborn things, and whatever it may be, our wishes are or our inclinations, or oh my God, I cannot read it all. And whatever may be our wishes, our inclination, or the dictates of our passions, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. As of the end of fiscal year 2023, our net federal debt hit a staggering 23.7 trillion with a T. And what did that mean for hardworking taxpayers? It meant Americans forked over $658 billion, or about 10% of the entire federal budget, just to cover the interest on that debt. That's 10% of the entire federal budget gone, not to build bridges, or fund education, improve healthcare, but to keep the creditors from knocking on your door. Imagine spending 10% of your income every year just to cover the interest on your credit card debt. Now imagine that is on a national scale. You might want to hold on to your wallet because it gets more ridiculous. The Congressional Budget Office, CBO, has looked into its crystal ball, and what it sees is enough to make even the most optimistic among us break out in the cold sweat. In fiscal year 2024, we're on track to pay $892 billion in interest alone. That's nearly $1 trillion just to tread water. But wait, it gets worse. By 2025, we'll hit the $1 trillion mark for interest payments. And if we keep on this path by 2034, we'll be forking over to $1.7 trillion a year just to cover the interest in our debt. In total, over the next decade, we're projected to spend $12.9 trillion just in interest payments. That won't be going towards tangible priorities. It won't be paying down the debt. It's just interest. The cost of Congress's inability to live within its means. This isn't just some theoretical problem for future generations to use. This isn't just some theoretical problem for future generations to deal with. No, this is a problem that's affecting us right here, right now. That's 12.9 trillion we will spend on interest over the next decade instead of things that actually matter. It's 12.9 trillion that could have gone to improving our healthcare systems or lowering taxes for hardworking Americans. Instead, the money goes straight into the pockets of our creditors, many of whom aren't exactly our best friends on a global stage. If we don't get serious about lowering our debt, we're going to spend the next few decades working to pay off the interest on money we've already spent. It's like signing for a gym membership you never use but keep paying for year after year. Except in this case, this gym is the size of a small country, and the bill is bankrupting your kids and grandkids. It's time to cut the waste, stop reckless spending, and lower the debt. Oh man, like I said, and the thing I'm kind of worried about is, again, I don't know exactly what that means. For American taxpayers to be again paying this debt, because like I said, like there's a lot of, I mean, we saw what Doge was trying to cut funding for, and we see what America, this big bullshit bill is kind of targeting. And the thing is, the one thing you don't see from from the conservative side of things is worry and concern over like the cuts in Medicaid. And I don't know what to really say. Like people absolutely need that assistance. That they need that assistance in Medicare and Medicaid. Like health is more. I'm sorry, but health is more important than this nation's debt. I mean, and I don't think Republicans seem to have that understanding. But I guess they saying the creditors don't have that understanding either. I guess. But like, I don't know, man. This is the tough part. If they like business, I mean, business is business. But looking at the cuts that is ahead of us, I don't know. It's gonna be a relatively tough cause as far as what's gonna happen next. I mean, and this is the thing though. Like a lot of people, like the people that's like closest to the bottom of the economic totem pole, man. Like even below the working class. I mean, even the working class is gonna be going through a lot of problems in this. But I would say even worse than that, even more so than that. It is the what's the name? It is the people that are essentially working living paycheck to paycheck. If you live in paycheck to paycheck in the volatile economy such as this, man, it is gonna be. I don't know what else to say. The only thing I can think of to do is like it's time to it's the only way anybody's gonna really be able to survive. It seems like be like huddling up, man. Like people gotta start living with each other, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, living paycheck to paycheck literally means that your life is not sustainable. Like these taxes are gonna go up. Our taxes is gonna go up, and price of things is also gonna go up. And I think something like dealing with our nation's economy, dealing with our nation's debt, and then instilling some sort of a program, some sort of a thing, idea, plan to like bring up our nation's flow or our current economy. Like those things can't happen at the same time. I don't think. I feel like you gotta choose one or the other. But I don't think you can do both in the same time frame. I'm not saying to pay off the entirety of the debt off a jump and then work towards regulating or like balancing our not balancing, but setting in programs or incentives for because okay, I'm trying to think of the broad word or verbiage here, but yeah, and still like ideas that could like bring more revenue to the country. Like, again, I'm not saying to pay all of it off first and then work again implement these strategies to bring up the revenue of the country. But something these things, like all I'm saying is that these things can't be done at the same time. But they both definitely need to be. I would argue I would say both of them need to be addressed. But like honestly, like I think the biggest thing you do is like tax the rich. Really, that's kind of that's pretty much where I'm at with it. Again, like I'm just very much so pro working class, bro. I think everybody. I mean, we have enough people to vote for pro working class legislation. You know what I'm saying? Policies and stuff like that. The country, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like the star players here, the top 10%, they hold 90% of the nation's wealth. Like they have to like this. The money's just not doing. I mean, listen, they in this country, they benefit great from this country. This country made them what they are today. This time for them to be selfish is like it's just not it, bro. So I don't know. I think I personally think he's just tax the rich, bro. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm pretty sure he's just kind of saying the same thing about cutting the subsidies and stuff like that. Then Trump just went on bat. Trump just went to bat for Elon Musk outside of the White House for examining while examining the Teslas.
Mr. President, Elon called yet? They said, no, sir. The next day, what about Elon? Did he call? He never even mentioned it to me, never complained. Until this moment, I'm just bringing it up. Who would do that? Yeah. He has never asked me for a thing. And he's built this great company, and he shouldn't be penalized because he's a patriot. He's an incredible patriot. And I don't even know if he's a Republican. I really don't.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
Okay, so yeah, man, like he just kind of further emphasizing the fact that Donald Trump is lying about this whole cuts to EVs and stuff like that. I fully agree with Elon. I simply hope this does not create long-term damage. I think it's time we can go up here and find out like the results of this vote, because like it's saying like basically Elon has spent a long time proving Donald Trump to be a liar, and we all know Donald Trump is a liar. But Elon is like he's his own character. Let's not get it. Let's not kid ourselves here. You know what I'm saying? But obviously in this case, if we're looking at Donald Trump versus Elon, we have to vote. We have to go with Elon. But yeah, like no surprise, he got 76% of the vote, 1 million votes, and like I said, people was like, oh, this is a parody account too. That's pretty funny. Is it a parody account? What does this mean? You may not want to engage in authentic activity of that. But isn't he verified though? Okay, so I guess it's verified, but like it's just not a real account. It's a verified whatever. They'll take money from anybody, I take it. Anyway. Has this really been going on all day? As of a president, rather than making this about Elon, he should simply make it clear conditions under which this bill will reduce the deficit to how he will create these conditions. He was elected to lead, not fight with citizens. Trump speaks on Elon coming out against the big bullshit.
Anybody else? I spoke to him recently about his house. So we've done a great job. Elon knew that. Elon endorsed me very strongly. He actually went up and campaigned for me. I think I would have won. Susie would say I would have won Pennsylvania easily anyway, even if the governor ran, the real governor, not the governor from Minnesota, he's a sick puppy, that guy. That poor guy, I feel sorry for him. But they made a bad choice with him. But if you pick Shapiro or anybody else, I spoke to him recently about his house being set on fire, which was terrible. But if they picked him, I would have won Pennsylvania. I won it by a lot. But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different, and I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody, and he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
President, did he, I just want to clarify, did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now? Are you saying this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard and he did a good job. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But there's something about this one. I was telling the Chancellor, this is where it is. People come in here, even from Germany. They come in and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's, World War I, it started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room. And I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly. And some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. But we have it with others too. They leave and they wake up in the morning and the glamour's gone. The whole world is different and they become hostile. I don't know what it is.
Dude, don't know what it is crazy. Like, bro, damn sure what it is. These people are in direct contact with you, and I'm sure that they give you an earful before they leave. Like, oh my goodness, Donald Trump, bro, this dude, bro, this guy. He thinks he's a good liar, but this is not the case.
Someday you'll write a book about it, and you'll let us know. Yeah.
Mr. President, speaking of ending wars.
Okay. Yeah. So he got up there, got the line on Elon. Elon went on a tirade over because of that. The Trump administration should recognize Elon's point about the budget and build a bridge with him and the majority of Americans who want to see us cut spending. Here's what they admin should say/do. We hear you, Elon. We are going to sharpen our pencils and iterate on a big bullshit bill to address the Americans' people's concerns over the debt. Take off the ramp. Okay. No member of Congress should be eligible for a re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. It's not allowed. So yeah, he's just sharing a bunch of stuff that I'm pretty sure this is going to be a bunch of stuff that Donald Trump said in the past. That's actually kind of funny to do. Say this is good. This is some good sarcasm right here. But yeah, basically like this is what Donald Trump said. A very very long time ago, over 10 years ago. A lot of criticisms against the Democratic Party, I'm sure, but he himself did it. He himself did it when it was his turn to run the country. Elon continues to mount the high school pressure campaign. I cannot believe the Republicans are extending at the debt ceiling. Oh, well, yeah, this is kind of the same stuff. He kind of just, at this point, he was doing a lot of reiterating today, I guess. The Senate job is to make the bill better before sending it back to us. The House job is to pass doggy recessions and executive order codification bills that are collecting dust. Let's check this out.
Make some additional cuts, and then likely it'll pass, and then it comes back to us. Now, that'll put...
Do you think that there is progress being made in the Senate to get the votes to pass this bill, or are you anticipating that the Senate will make some revision and send it back to the House?
Well, I would say that, from the House perspective, or at least my perspective, it's big. It's not quite beautiful yet. And so maybe this is the opportunity. With Elon coming out, criticizing the bill, maybe we'll see some of the senators make some changes, make some additional cuts, and then likely it'll pass, and then it comes back to us. Now, that'll put a few of my House colleagues in a box, but at the end of the day, that's what we promised the American people. And, right now, there doesn't seem to be quite a consensus forming in the Senate as what the direction is going to be. So I think it's kind of... What I'll say is Elon, I think, reset the conversation with his most recent tweets, for better or worse. But again, I think the Mike Lees and some of the more conservative senators, that emboldens them to try to get more, again, make it truly big and beautiful, not just big. Because right now it's rather large. But I think, again, I think there's the opportunity for them to improve the bill, to make some additional cuts. You'll see some of those more conservative senators come online, and of course the House votes on it. But like you said, I don't know that the votes are there if it were to be voted on today as is.
Okay, I don't know. I think it was pretty much the extent of what we're gonna be learning from Elon's tweets. It's more so just a whole lot of Trump cutting funding for California high-speed rail. Oh, that's not good. California's high-speed rail project isn't expected to be completed before 2060, and will have to cost more than $300 billion by then. Slim Beautiful bill for the win. Okay, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, 2012. Yeah, there's a lot of reiterations. Kennedy is frustrated. I think he believes, in my judgment correctly, that we're quickly becoming debt slaves, that the Congress needs to rearm the magical healing power of no, and agree with it. Having said that, I'm not ready to throw in the charges on this bill. Essential functions of the government according to Milton Friedman. 4 essential functions of government according to Milton Friedman. Defense from foreign enemies, protect the individual citizens from abuse, coercion, and other citizens, define the rules, judicial system, mechanism for adjudicating disputes around the meaning of rules. So yeah, it's definitely a lot. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be just a whole lot of pushing back on what Donald Trump said about Elon. Him kind of like clearing the air and stuff like that. Respectable stuff. I want to move. I think I'm finally ready to move on though. Let's see what time it is. 11. I probably won't get into everything per se, but I did kind of want to get just a little bit, at least scratch the surface as far as understanding our tax situation with a big beautiful bill, big bullshit bill. So I found this. This is actually this is our tax brackets. So this rate on this this percentage on the left signifies how much in annual how much of your annual pay you'll be submitting to the government. This is your income taxes, and depending on where you fall on this earnings list, this is your earnings. Whether you're here on this side, you're single, on this side you're married, and this is the increase to its current year. Now, this is not the big beautiful bill, mind you. This is just where we're at right now. You know what I mean? So, individuals making over $600,000. I'm sorry, single people making $600,000 will be paying 37%. And 25, they increased that to those individuals making an additional $20,000 on both ends. Excuse me. What is this? $20,000. It's about $20,000 on both ends. You're submitting 37%, and to Uncle Sam. And then it's only just a 2-point difference. Just a 2-point difference between those making over $600K and individuals making $200K. Over 200, at least making $200K. And if you're married, that number jumps to $400K. Almost $500K. But yeah, like I don't know. I definitely feel like if you like this level of a jump from just 2 percentage points, like I think this needs to be like at least like a good like 45, maybe even 50%. that's my opinion. I mean, maybe even more really. Understanding that these people, like their lives aren't ruined when they're taxed. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're like as opposed to being as opposed to you making only like 11K a year, like you're giving up 10% of this. You're giving up 10% of your yearly your year's income. That's $1,000, but like you ain't making 11K, bro. I mean, that I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy to me. Like how somebody even living, you know, probably making only 11K, and then you're asking for 10% of that. So it's like imagine somebody making like somebody making $700,000 a year. I guess I should be looking over it since we're in 2025. But imagine somebody making $700,000 a year, and then you taxing them 10%. That means they'll be submitting like what $70,000 at by taking 10%. Taking 10%. Hold on, let me try to get tired. Well, as opposed to now, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you taking like say $5,000 from them, ain't shit. But at the same time, it's 30. So how much would that be? Let me check this out. That's why we just researching right now. Calculator. Seven, 5, 1, 600. 37%. We just gotta go 37 divided by 100. Then multiply that times the actual number. That's 200. Yeah, so that's 200,000. Yeah, $200,000. Two well, 2.7 thousand dollars. Why am I saying this? It's $278,000. I'm tripping. Hold on, I must be getting tired. Anyway, let me see here. So yeah, but yeah, taking that type of money from somebody that's gonna be left with what? Let me see. Now I gotta do this. I don't want to do that. Let me just copy this number. So yeah, take you subtract. You subtract that 278 number. Yeah, so they'll be left with $473,000 for the year in earnings. Whereas these people are left with 10 bands. So I mean that's like I don't know. If you don't know what to do with $400,000 or almost $500,000 for the year, imagine what these people are gonna do with like that 10 bands. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just don't have any real. I don't have sympathy for these people, bro. Let me see here. How 2025 might affect you. Here's how changes might play out for individual filer who earns 100,000 in both 24 and 25 and takes a standard deduction in both years. Single standard deduction, taxable income, tax owed at 10%, 12%, 22%. Yeah. $227 extra, basically, from one year to the next. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So again, these are your current tax brackets. So individuals making just above 100K, you're being taxed 24%. Most Americans fall under this about this tax bracket, about 22%, making about 47,000. And well, I guess I should be looking over here, the 48,000 number, and then I guess 96% if you're married. So yeah, those individuals will be taxed 22%, which is I guess it is what it is. Well, like so, yeah, most Americans are being taxed at 22%, and that is going to be going up during this after if this big beautiful bill were to pass. So let me see if Google actually knows what is going to be increased to if the bill passes. That's pretty funny. The one big beautiful bill proposes several changes of two tax brackets, including making the 2017 tax cuts permanent, adjusting inflation for most brackets except top one, and hold on. Oh man, I just read something I didn't want to see. Including making the 2017 tax cuts permanent, adjusting inflation for the most brackets for most. Oh my God, I'm getting tired, I guess. Adjusting inflation for most brackets except the top one, and raising the SALT deduction cap. I think this is not the. Let's say what's SALT? What are you talking about? Is that the? I don't know what the SALT deduction cap is. Let me find out what that means. Could not generate an AI explanation. See if CNBC can explain it for us. Trump's bill could end popular SALT deduction workaround for certain business owners. Currently, many pass-through businesses use a workaround, a pass-through entity or PTE tax to bypass $10,000 limit on the federal deduction for state and local taxes known as SALTs. To bypass the $10,000 limit on federal deduction for state. The House-approved bill could block certain pass-through businesses from using popular state level tax break. However, this provision can still face changes amid Senate negotiations. How long is this? It's not too bad, but we're not going to read all of it, though. I just want to know what SALT means. SALT deduction cap workaround enacted via the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, or TCJA, of 2017. There's currently a $10,000 limit on the SALT deduction for filters who itemize tax breaks. This cap will expire after 2025 without changes from Congress. The SALT deduction was eliminated before Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, but the so-called alternative minimum tax reduced the benefit for some higher earners. The cap has been a pain point in high tax states like New York, New Jersey, and California because residents can't deduct more than $10,000 for SALT, which includes some property and sales taxes. However, most states now have a workaround to bypass the federal SALT deduction limit for pass-through business owners, explained Garrett Watson, director of bro, what the hell is SALT? Okay, as Senate Republicans debate trillions of tax breaks advanced by the House, some business owners could be blocked from part of the proposed windfall, policy experts say. If enacted as written, the House GOP's One Big Beautiful Bill Act would raise the federal deduction limit for state and local taxes, known as SALT, to $40,000. That will phase out once income exceeds $500,000. The bill would also boost. The bill would also boost tax break and pass through business known as qualified business income or QBI deduction to 23%, but the measure would end a popular state level SALT cap workaround for certain pass through business owners. Okay. Oops. Federal deduction limit. There are currently a $10,000 limit on federal deduction on state and local taxes, known as SALTs. As part of the President Donald Trump tax package, House Republicans on Thursday passed a SALT limit of $40,000 starting in 2025 up to $30,000 in the previous version of the bill. Okay, so they increased it by $10,000 over the year, in this new proposal. However, the proposal could still change significantly in the Senate. Okay, all right. Standard deduction increase. Wait, let me just read that one more time. That the bill would increase this limit on deduction for state and local taxes. Oh, goddamn. I finally fucking get it. I feel so damn slow. I feel so slow. SALT stands for state and local taxes, everybody. I finally get it. State and local taxes. All right. We get it now. Oh, my God. I'm just like, bro, what the heck does SALT stand for? What is this the acronym of? The bill would have raised the limit on the deduction for state and local taxes to $40,000 for a married couples earning up to $500,000, phasing down gradually for higher earners. Okay, I get it. Standard deduction increase that the bill proposes a hike to a standard deduction, potentially benefiting many taxpayers. Child tax credit increase. The bill includes an increase in child tax credit. QBI deduction revision. The bill will revise Section 199A deduction, qualified business income deduction, to provide greater tax efficiency for small businesses, pass-throughs, and sole proprietors. Temporary provisions. The bill also includes several temporary provisions, such as tax exemptions for overtime pay and tips, and a deduction for auto loan interest. Okay. Okay. The House bill reduces couples deduction by $5,000 and increases the couple's tax bill by $2,000. Okay, so it's like I said, it is a tax cut. It's just that again, we have to. I mean, you're exchanging you're giving up your what's name for it. That's just kind of the big problem here, right? You're giving up your I'm sorry, you're giving up your Medicaid for individuals that really need it, which is like arguably everybody, but you know. I guess this one. Okay, I guess. What's wrong with my phone right now? also did what it do for some reason. Okay, open my chat back up. Okay, there we go. So let me see here. Yeah, okay. So that's that seems to be like the gist of everything. Yeah, qualified business. Okay. The bill also includes similar changes such as tax exemptions for overtime pay and tips. Okay, right. Which is like the tax exemption on overtime pay is like, I gotta show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all that eventually too. It's not gonna be tonight, but it's gonna be soon. And a deduction for auto loan interest, which we have to like kind of look at all these things individually. One big beautiful bill passed by the House. Yeah. So that's. I want to see how. So now we want to see how it affects. One second. Cap increase. Okay. The bill would raise the limit on the deduction for state and local taxes. Yeah. To $40,000 for married couples earning up to $500,000, phasing down gradually. Okay. Okay. So this is so. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Under current law, the SALT deduction, a tax deduction for state and local taxes, is capped at $10,000. This mainly affects filters in states with higher tax rates like New York, California, and New Jersey. The bill would raise the state and local taxes cap to $40,000 for married couples earning up to $500,000 a year, then gradually phase it down for higher earners. It will remain at $10,000 for those with higher adjusted gross income. So what about everybody else? It seems to only be it's only speaking towards individuals that's making up to $500,000. That's not a significant portion population size. It's not a significant percentage of American citizens. What about everybody that's making 50,000, like 60 and 70,000? Like those are like the average. Yeah, that's the working class. You know what this means to you if you itemize deductions and live in a state with high income tax or property taxes. You could deduct more of those local state taxes. Of those local taxes if you fall under the income threshold. Extra deductions for seniors. If you're a taxpayer age 65 or older, the bill will give you an extra $4,000 standard deduction starting in the year 2025, up from an additional $22,000 currently. Okay. The extra deduction will phase out at higher income levels once your AGI exceeds $75,000 for single filters or $150,000 for those married filing jointly. Okay. No tax on tips. Who qualifies? Some restrictions apply until the tax break. Workers must. Okay. No tax on tips. This part of the one beautiful bill could mean more. What? Could mean more take-home pay for workers who rely on tips. Tips earned from 25 to 28 will qualify for an above-the-line deduction, meaning you don't need to itemize the deductions to claim it from federal income tax for qualifying individuals. You don't need to itemize them. Okay. From federal income tax requirement. Above the line deduction. Let me see what that really means. Above the line deductions are adjustments to your taxable income subtracted before AGI calculation. They can be claimed even if you take standard deduction, offering more flexibility. Itemized deductions are not available to those who take the standard deduction. These expenses are only deductible if you choose to itemize. Deciding whether or not to itemize depends on your unique tax situation and which option would save you the most money. Maybe you've heard of the term above the line thrown around in tax conversations. Above the line deductions are actually adjustments to your taxable income. They are subtracted from your income before your adjusted gross income is calculated for tax purposes. However, the number of above the line deductions you take directly affects the amount and type of below the line deductions you would of which you are eligible. Below the line deductions, more commonly known as itemized deductions, include any deduction reported beneath the line of AGI calculation on your tax return. Your adjusted gross income is used for many calculations on your tax return. For example, you can only deduct medical expenses as itemized deductions to the extent they exceed 7.5% of your annual gross income. Adjusted gross income. Every dollar that reduces your AGI reduces your taxable income, but it also help you qualify for other deductions. Various tax credits are limited to your AGI as well. In some cases, your adjustment may help you qualify for a tax credit or other tax benefit that you would not receive otherwise. While both above the line and itemized deductions ultimately reduce your taxable income, some deductions can have more favorable impact on your tax bill than others. In some cases, above the line deductions are a better choice, and here's why. You can take above the line deductions even if you don't itemize. This is kind of a lot right now. Okay. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see how does Google explain what AGI means? It's a key figure in the U.S. income tax calculations. It's used by the IRS to determine your tax liability and eligibility for certain credits and deductions. Okay, your AGI is what are your AGI is and how it's calculated? Gross income. This is the total amount of money you make from all sources, including wages, salaries, investments, everything, retirement distribution, and other income. Adjustments to income above the line deductions. These are specific deductions that reduce your gross income to arrive at your AGI. You can take these adjustments whether you itemize deductions or take the standard deduction. AGI calculate. I see that. Hey, these are for tax people. This is why I'm not. This is why I'm not reading. It's not really seeping into my brain quite easily. this is like these are this information tax people understand better than like already. I'm over here breaking down like mental walls to like kind of finally like conceptualize it. Common adjustments to income include contributions to eligible retirement accounts, e.g., traditional IRA, SEP, IRA, simple IRA, student loan interest payments, educator expense. Common adjustment incomes. Oh, I think I know what this is. I'm starting to get it now. Common adjustments to income include for retirement accounts, student loan interest payments, educator expenses. Okay, yeah. It's like you like deduction. Okay. I think I'm starting to get it now. Health and savings account, half in self-employment taxes. Yeah. Okay. Why AGI is important? Determines tax bracket. Your AGI helps determine which federal income tax bracket you fall into, impacting your tax rate. Yeah. Eligibility for tax. So, yeah. Okay. If I understand this correctly, and I might not, but I'm still working on it. Depending on how you get your income, determines it like influences your the tax bracket that you fall into. If all your money comes from like one like flat source that is not on this list, then you're gonna have to deal with that tax bracket. Is what it sounds like they're talking about to me, I think. Whereas the majority, if a lot of your expenses and stuff like that fell on this list, no, okay, not income, but like, yeah, I mean, this is essentially like the shit you did. Okay, yeah. So when you submit like your receipts to your fucking tax person, they want to find stuff like this. You got student loan payments. You have educators. Are you a teacher? You have expenses to teach people with. Self-employment tax and stuff like that. Like anything that helps you, anything that falls on this list that you have a receipt, they have a payment for. You can use these expenses to assist your placement on your tax brackets. I didn't know that. So your AGI helps determine which federal income tax bracket you fall into, impacting your tax rate. So like, yeah, that depends. That helps you. Yeah, it's a big deal. Eligibility for tax benefits. AGI is used to determine your eligibility for certain tax credits and deductions. Modified adjustment of gross income. In some cases, a modified AGI is used to determine eligibility for certain tax benefits. MAGI is AGI plus certain deductions that needs to be added back. Where to find your AGI? You can find your AGI on line 11 of your IRS Form 1040. In essence, AGI provides a snapshot of your income after, 1040, yeah. For determining the overall tax liability. Let me see this. Nerd Wallet. That's what a funny ass name. Yeah. This I guess it's for those that knows that you have to, if you're doing your own taxes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is probably information I should have known already, but I didn't. That's why. That's all. This is a study session, so I can learn, so I can know it better. Adjusted gross income. Yeah, that's a big one to understand. So where was I? Yeah. Tax brackets. Pass-through deduction. So yeah, overall, this is what it really wants to do. Make 2017 tax cuts permanent, increase the standard deduction and child tax credit, provide additional tax relief for small business owners, address other tax provisions such as estate and gift taxes and beats. But yeah, the important thing is, like I said, it is how it influences or what's the name? Our tax brackets. And I think it said after like I kind of forgot already. Let me go back and find it. Okay. Yeah. Extending the current tax rates and bracket, with the top bracket remaining at 37%. Yeah. Yep. So they don't want to tax the top percentile. They just want everybody else to kind of pay more money. The OBBA also includes other tax provisions such as increasing the standard deduction in the child. Yeah. Makes the current tax brackets, including 37 the top rate, permanent. This means 2017 tax cuts which were scheduled to expire in 25 will be extended. Okay. Standard deduction. The bill increase the standard deduction, potentially leading to lower tax liabilities for many individuals. Child tax credit. The OBBA also increased the child tax credit, providing additional relief for families. Pass-through deduction. Other provisions. The OBBA also includes provisions related to state and gift taxes. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how it exactly influenced. Well, here it is. It's right here. So let's just check this out. Oh damn! They want us to start. They want us to pay for this here article. I mean, for Forbes. Oh boy. A guide to the tax cuts in and out of Trump's big bullshit bill. Okay. President Trump. Yeah, dude, it's too much like. There's so much going on here. Like, how do I get rid of? Okay, that's okay. I'm tripping. Anyway, President Donald Trump got his big bullshit bill, at least in the draft version, and it certainly lives up to the moniker. The tax portion of the bill will cost $3.7 trillion over the next decade, according to the Joint Committee on Taxation. It's not good. The draft bill and subsequent markups would make permanent a number of expiring tax cuts contained in Trump's signature 2017 tax legislation. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJA, it would also sweeten some of those cuts. The beneficiaries of the most recent proposals are largely individuals, but that's because the TCJA, many of the tax benefits for individuals were set to expire in the end of 2025, which the corporate tax breaks were largely permanent. In the new bill, some of the tax cuts are again set to expire, typically after the current administration leaves office. Here's a look at some of the highlights. Individual tax provisions, income tax rates. We currently have 7 tax brackets. 10%, 12%, 22, 24, 32, 35, and 37%. The top rate in particular reflects the rate a reduction as a result of the TCJA. And I noted this, like the gap in earnings between the last 2 tax brackets is like astronomical. It's like $300,000 or something like that. It's freaking crazy to consider it's only a 2 percentile difference between the two. Like it's so bizarre how they kind of got this. Again, this needs to be increased. I'm going like between 45 and like 50% in my opinion. The draft bill would make these proposed income tax rates and brackets permanent beginning in 2026. Capital gains, if you hold assets for 1 year or less, any capital gain or at sale or disposal is considered short-term and generally taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. If you hold assets for more than 1 year before you get rid of them, the capital gain is called long-term and is taxed rates up to 20%. Under the draft bill, the same capital gains rates will apply, but the brackets will be adjusted. Standard deduction, the TCJA doubled the standard deduction amounts from the earlier levels, but was temporary. For 2025, the standard double deduction was $15,000 for individuals and married couples filing separately, for $30,000 for married couples filing jointly, and $22.5 thousand for heads of the household. Under the draft bill, the doubling of the standard deduction would be made permanently. Additionally, the standard deduction amount would be subject to a temporary additional increase of $1,500 in the first year and $1,000 in future years, but only for 4 years beginning in 2025. The JCT estimates this would add $1.3 trillion to the deficits. Additional standard deduction. If you are over the age of 65 or blind in 2025, you can tack on $1,600 to your standard deduction, $2,000 for unmarried taxpayers. It's still kind of like going on here. I'm gonna have to leave this open, but I'm about to kind of call it hit the sack for right now. It's knocking on midnight, and I am getting a little bit more tired, and my comprehension is gonna be lagging from here on out. But I'm definitely gonna be streaming tomorrow as well when I get off of my 9 to 5. So yeah, definitely start. So yeah, I'm gonna keep everything open, and we're gonna continue our research about how the taxes, how the big bullshit bill will impact America's taxes. Because I mean, this is where it's supposed to be. This is like where it's supposed to. Oh, that didn't work for some reason. There we go. Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was the taxes is where it's supposed to, where it's supposed to help out Americans the most, evidently. Supposed to be lower taxes, so everybody can just, I guess the idea is they'll give us more money to be able to survive without any government programming. You know what I'm saying? And I get they're trying to say this is a good thing, but if all the things you're cutting, when shit hits the fan in our individual lives, I'm not convinced we can have the money to survive that. You know what I'm saying? And in situations of our family members, that's even bigger. That's even bigger thing. You know, I hope everybody will have families to pull resources from in the event that we may have go through situations. But at the same time, man, if it comes to a point where kind of, I mean, we're kind of transitioning into another, the next generations, the current generations kind of taking over, and the boomer class is just kind of it's just not around and stuff like that. Some of them are passing away and stuff like that. So it's and what comes with that is the failing of the health and stuff like that, and the need for medication. And it's to assume that we all have enough, can pull in enough resource to make sure all of our elders are taken care of, medically. I mean, it can be rather difficult to do that, depending on how much money you're making. If you fall down into a certain tax bracket and you're paying 10%, you're paying the government 10% of your earned income for the year. I mean, this is going to be a lot harder for those people to contribute to the well-being of of their elders. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just maybe if you have a bigger family, what I would say with like a lot of cousins, a lot of able-bodied cousins, that can maybe y'all can kind of be pulling resources to assist with the elders and stuff like that. But you also got some. I mean, hell, what if you got some Republicans in your family, some conservatives in your family that are extremely individualistic? You know, they may not see it that way. They may not assist you because they may not see value in you. You know, I don't know what to say here, man. So yeah, we're gonna continue our research on the big bull crap plan, and I want to definitely they want to continue this research into, especially like I said, I don't know how to really put this. If we aren't paying attention to all of this stuff, then it's gonna just go over our heads, you know, and we are not gonna be prepared for what's kind of coming ahead. So, mind you, like these type of live streams are kind of just me, kind of like, you know, engaging with it, trying to figure it all out. But it's not necessarily me actually having the information. I mean, it's not necessarily me putting this footage out there as like, you know, something for me to kind of for people to kind of engage with in its own. Okay. What I'm trying to say is I'm just trying to, in these streams, I'm just trying to learn. You know what I'm trying to say? But like I would definitely once I get it down, that's when I'll be able to make a more of a coherent video that's like more focused and more straight to the point, and of like much shorter than a 3-hour live stream. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem all that too complicated to understand this at this point, but like the most important things, it being like the tax information and also the Medicare stuff is two items I want to take a very deep look at and have a very good understanding of. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm gonna be continue to follow this stuff. I'm gonna try to cover it every day. I'm gonna be trying to live stream every day at the very least, if I'm not gonna be coming out with content every day. We will definitely it depends if my friends show up, but we most likely will be doing a delegation discussion this weekend, this Sunday. So definitely tune in for that. I will have some videos, some regular videos rolling out soonish. I just gotta set aside time to actually edit the work and all that stuff. It's just kind of been a pretty very busy month for me, to say the least. But like I said, I'm definitely gonna hit the sack from at this point because I have been up all damn day. But anyway, hey, again, we'll be back this Sunday. Expect some content coming out eventually-ish. And I'll catch you on the flip side, man. This has been Chicago Bad Delegation Podcast. I've been hard thinking. Catch you on the flip side, right?